If you invested $100,000 into NIO stock at its all-time highs, how much money would you have left today? Guys, the purpose of this video isn't to say that NIO stock has been a great investment, but it is to compare NIO stock with its peers to show that NIO is actually outperforming most of its peers. All right. So first, let's start off with Lucid. If you have invested $100,000 into Lucid stock at all-time highs, today you would only have $4,000. $4,000. If you invested $100,000 into Nikola Motors at all-time highs, you would have $500 today. $100,000 turned into $500 if you invested into Nikola Motors. If you invested $100,000 into Workhorse or Canoe, you would be left with $300 US. From 100,000 to 300. Here's something that's a little bit better. Hillian. If you invested $100,000 into Hillian at all-time highs, today you'd be left with $2,500. Okay. All right. If you invested, this is crazy, $12 million into Mullen stock at its all-time highs. All right, you got $12 million in the bank, and you said, hey, I want to put it in Mullen. You put it in Mullen stock today. From $12 million, you would be left with $2.68. Not $4, not $5, $2.68 from 12 million. All right, there goes your 12 million. Turn into $2.68. If you invested $100,000 into Mullen stock, just 100,000, you don't have 12 million. You'll be left with a whopping 2 cents. $100,000 turned into 2 cents. Okay? If you invested any amount of money, $100,000 or whatsoever, into stocks like Fisker or Arrival or Lordstown Motors, you would be left with zero. Nada. It's completely gone. It's just wiped off the face of earth. What about NIO? If you invested $100,000 into NIO stock, you will be left with $6,600. You can't say this is good performance. The whole entire market has been going down like crazy. Clearly, you can tell the EV bubble has popped and EV stocks have gone down by a lot. But compared to its peers, all these other guys that I talked about, NIO is actually outperforming them. Okay? Everything is all relative. Yes, EV stocks taking a hit. We've been going downhill for a very long time, but relative to those guys, NIO is doing a lot better. And if you just look at how well these companies are selling, all right, NIO is selling a lot of vehicles here in China. Whereas those guys, some of those guys, they barely even sell any cars at all. And the bias towards Chinese stocks really, really, really hurts the market valuation. All right, if NIO was an American company, the stock price would definitely be much, much higher. Right? There's no geopolitical risks. And yes, the price war sucks. The price war sucks. Everybody's hurting. A lot of these competitors are dying. Things are looking grim for a lot of these competitors. And from, from what people are saying, right, NIO's losing $700 million a quarter. They're going to run out of money in 8 quarters. Guys, it has always been like this for NIO, okay? They've always lost a lot of money every single quarter. And it's not really lost money. It's more like invest into R&D. If things got tough and they were not confident about the survivability of the future and they believed that their cash was not enough to sustain operations, they're going to lower R&D costs, right? It's not like they're losing that amount of money because they're burning it on private jets and stuff. No, they're investing into the future to make better products at cheaper prices with higher margins, with new technological innovations, with better battery swap stations that just completely knocks the other EV makers out of the park, forcing them to either cooperate or lose sales, completely annihilating BBA here in China. Their sales, BBA sales and Porsche sales have tanked like crazy, just gone to shit, all right, here in China. Where have those customers gone? They've gone to NIO, all right? So this is the important message, all right? This is the important message. They're investing in themselves. They're spending money on themselves, and investors are seeing that as wastefulness. That's not wastefulness, guys, okay? That's future-proofing yourself. I'm not worried about 700 million loss per quarter. I mean, that is a lot of money that they're spending, yes, but this is definitely not something that I am personally too concerned about. All right, they will always be able to get funding somewhere, get money somewhere, and their future products. And I believe in the next 1 or 2 years, before they even run out of money, they're going to have products that earn them a ton of money. Okay, they're going to have products that earn them a shit ton of money. Survivability of the finest. All right, and they're prepared for this. They're prepared for this. They see this coming. NIO CEO knows that this toughness is here to stay. All right. And they're preparing themselves for this long winter, okay? So other EV companies, they might perish, but I'm confident that NIO will survive and actually thrive. And it's actually selling, #1 best-selling luxury EV company here in China. Porsche, these guys, BBA, these guys, they can't even compete. That's the take-home message. That's the take-home message. And guys, I've noticed something that just really, really pisses the hell out of me. It's the fact that when NIO stock was at 60, when NIO stock was at 30, when NIO stock was at 25, when NIO stock was at 18, when NIO stock was at 13, I warned, all right? I warned people, I warned investors that, hey, we might go down even more. And I got a shit ton of hate for it, okay? Everybody's bashing like, Mr. P, you're so bad. And I made it clear, NIO's a great company, all right, back then. NIO's cars are fantastic. I would never buy another EV other than a NIO, but the stock had more room to go down. And I got so much bullshit for it, all right? And then now, all right, now when the stock is at $4, $3, all right, and I say, hey, you know, we could be looking at bottom. But things have shifted. Everybody's saying NIO's going down, NIO's game over, everything's bad. Even in my Discord, people are turned into just saying bad stuff, right? And these guys are saying that NIO's going to go down further, whereas I'm the one that's saying, hey, you know, we've pretty much bottomed, right? NIO stock is so damn cheap right now. Yes, we could go lower, but you know, this is what the bottom looks like, and I'm getting shit for it. All right, I got shit for warning when the stock was coming down from 60s to 30s to 20s. I got shit for it, and I remember a lot of people gave me shit for it. It's okay, all right, that happens. And then stock goes down. Now it's at rock bottom, and I say, hey, you know, we're looking at the rock bottom right now. We could, you know, go up, and I get shit for it. So there's always going to be shit somewhere. And the purpose of that comparison isn't to say that, you know, the stock has been a great investment. The purpose is to showcase that NIO has actually outperformed its peers. All right? The peers, if you invested in those guys, they would have lost you way more money than NIO. All right? All right, I'm going to continue to say it. I've warned on the way down when NIO stock was too expensive, but now NIO stock is near rock bottom, and I say, hey, you know, this is a pretty good price to buy in. All right, you can hate me if you want, you can talk shit to me or shit about me if you want, but that's just my opinion. All right, I think we're at the bottom now. We might go even lower. Who cares? In the long-term outlook of things, this couple of dollars of difference doesn't really matter. Okay?